What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to do a quick review of this Kozyard outdoor privacy screen kit, which measures 50 inches wide and 48 inches high with aluminum posts. I'll share with you its various use cases and also how I have it set up, which you can probably see. I'll also discuss what I like, what you should keep in mind, and whether it's a good solution for hiding unsightly units like your AC, or even trash bins, or even pool equipment or other things. So let's get into it. What's up everybody? I just want to take a few minutes to make a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Eufy, who's kicking off some massive Black Friday deals right now. Now, if you're someone who's been thinking about upgrading your home with a smart robot vacuum or boosting your home security, this is honestly the best time of the year to do it. Now, let me start with Eufy's newest flagship, the Eufy S1 Pro robot vacuum. This thing is packed with power, and for Black Friday, Eufy is giving you an insane $800 off with the code S1Pro 800 off. Just use the link in the description section below to grab that deal. In addition to that, they've also got their newest security upgrade, the Eufy S4 camera. It's a crisp, ultra-sharp security camera, and right now you can get 15% off by using the code S4KOC. Again, that link is also down in the description section below. Now, here's where things get even better. Eufy's full Black Friday event is split into two parts: an early access sale where you can get up to $350 off gift cards, and their main Black Friday sale between the dates of November 20th and December 1st, where you can get up to $1,100 off across the store. So whether you're shopping early or waiting for the main sale, there are some seriously huge savings this year. Now, if you want to check everything out, including the deals on the S1 Pro and the S4 camera, just head to their Black Friday page, which is linked below. So again, check out the link in the description for Eufy's Black Friday deals and make sure to jump on them early because these prices won't last long. Now let's get back into the video. Okay, so to start, I guess I can give you a bit of context. I do have this side yard on the right side of my house where the AC unit, the trash cans, and an occasional pallet or two live in plain sight. And I've been looking for a solution that's clean, fairly easy to install, looks good, and gives me some privacy and tidiness. Now, every time I place anything on the side of my house, I get a nasty gram from my HOA, as I'm sure most of you can relate to. And yes, unfortunately, I do live in a neighborhood with an HOA. But that is, of course, another story. This Kozyard screen set was something that I came across that might be a solution. It's 50 inches wide and 48 inches tall. And it comes with 4 panels, including aluminum steel stakes, posts, and is marketed for outdoor use for pool, air conditioner, and trash can hideaway. Now, according to the listing, it's also made of medium density polyethylene that has a wood-like appearance, which claims better water corrosion resistance, and it seems very durable. So I thought, hey, let's test it out and see if it holds up and gets my HOA off my back. Now, when the kit arrived, it looked good. The panels were a clean white finish, and in my case, they do offer other colors, and the hardware is all included. The panels, the posts, stakes, legs, and foot plates. It also includes bolts and screws and pretty much everything that you need to set this thing up. Now, the finish of the panel faces are smooth, and you can immediately see that the design includes 3/16 inches gaps between each of the different boards, which does help with ventilation while also maintaining privacy. Now, I will say that the aluminum posts in the title is a bit of a simplification. In actuality, what you get is galvanized steel stakes and iron legs, plus foot plates for anchoring. Now, my initial impression after unboxing everything and setting it up is that it has pretty decent build quality, and it definitely looks better than a cheap plastic screen. And the color and the surface finishes are super clean. Now, since I know many of you will ask, here's a breakdown of what the kit offers and what variations that you might find from Kozyard. The default kit that I used is roughly 50 inches wide by 48 inches high, and came with 4 panels. The width is measured across the full span of the 4 panels. From a colors perspective, the one I got, as you can see, is white. And from the listing, you'll definitely also find other color options. For example, there is a wood tone finish, or even a gray that might show up depending on where you purchase this. Now, as you may have noticed, I did choose white, which looks crisp and modern, but you'll definitely want to consider how it fits in with your outdoor decor. Now, from a panel shape and design perspective, the panels are a vertical board style with a small 3/16-inch gap between each of the boards. This helps to keep things ventilated, which of course is important for units like an AC, while still obscuring the view. Now the frame around each panel is clean and consistent. Now an interesting feature that I found is that the kit does come with what they call a 3-slot post T, which can be configured into a number of different shapes, such as straight, a Z formation, a F formation, an L formation, and an H formation. This means you can tailor how the panels wrap or split around equipment or even corners. Now in my case, I just needed an L-shaped design so it could cover the trash cans from the street. Now from a footing and anchoring perspective, the kit includes 11-inch galvanized steel stakes for ground insertion, and also 6-inch foot plates for more stable anchoring in the soil. Now what that means is you can adapt to either soft ground or even hard surfaces, which is always nice and makes this very versatile. Now what's also nice is that this comes in other sizing possibilities. While I use the 50-inch by 48-inch kit, there are other size combinations that exist, either smaller or larger, depending on your use case. Now if your site has a lower or higher clearance need, there are other size and height variants available. In short, you've got a modular-ish system that has panels plus configurable posts with modest height and width options. Now for me, I like the white finish, and it's been great hiding equipment and of course my trash cans, rather than installing a full fence which blocks everything off. Now when it comes to the installation experience, here's how it went. Starting with site prep. I chose a spot behind my AC unit where the ground is mostly flat with very little grass. I knocked in the 11-inch stakes where indicated, used the foot plates because I do like a little bit of stability, and bam, I was finished in about 30 minutes. Now assembly-wise, the included hardware was pretty straightforward. I laid out all the panels, connected the posts, adjusted the shape, and in my case, I used this L shape so that the screen wraps partly around my trash cans and allows me to access them. And the gaps between the posts match what I expected. Now, alignment and leveling did take some time because I had to make sure each panel was plumb and that the base was secured. And that's really because the panels are white and they're also smooth, and any tilt or misalignment definitely shows easily. So that is something that you're going to want to take your time and do. Even now they're still a bit wobbly or they're not straight, so I still have some adjustments that I need to make. Now when it comes to stabilization, after anchoring and backfilling around the stakes themselves, this screen felt super solid. I didn't even need to add gravel around the foot plates for extra control. Now will it hold up against the tornado? I have no idea, but heavy winds, it does a really good job. Now overall, as you can see, it looks great once it's installed. The white board panels give it a clean visual screen and did exactly what I wanted. The trash cans and the junk or pallets I decide to hide behind this unit are now hidden from view of the street. In addition to that, I also like the flexible shape configuration, which allows me to go around the corner, which is a bonus. And I can adjust it if I decide I want to change this. Now overall, the build felt very decent. The panel faces are smooth and the color is uniform. And the hardware is pretty much adequate and good enough to hold this thing steady for any kind of weather condition. Now, because of the height, which is around 48 inches, if you have taller trash cans like I do, you might still see the tops, which is fine. So definitely you want to measure carefully when you're ordering these things. Now, I was lucky that my land is flat, But something you'll have to take into consideration is that anchoring or uneven ground definitely requires more fiddling, such as shims or extra leveling, to get a perfect finish. And if you're hammering into mud like I am, you'll definitely need a sledgehammer because it is tough to get these stakes in once they're in a certain amount. In addition to that, the white color does show dirt and stains, especially near ground or soil, more readily. Now, I've already had to hose this thing down, but for the most part, I only have to do that probably once a month. But again, that in itself isn't very complicated. Now, something else that you'll have to consider, especially if you live in high wind areas, is that the wind can also still rattle the panels slightly if not secured tightly. Now, something that I might do is I may add extra screws at the base just as a precaution to make sure that this is firmly secured into the ground. Otherwise, over the last few months that I've had these installed, I haven't really had to worry or check in on these, and they've held very strong for quite a while. Now, when it comes to privacy and aesthetics, so far it's been a big win for me. The yard now looks much tidier, especially from the front yard, and I no longer see the trash cans sticking out. And the HOA doesn't really even bother me, so that's a nice result of having this panel set here. In fact, these white screens add a clean visual line, and as I mentioned so far, I haven't gotten any complaints from our HOA for either our trash cans or even junk that I put out here. And then from a durability standpoint, as you can see, there is no signs of weather stress so far. The surface of these panels remains smooth and clean. And so far, the claims about this polyethylene wood look board being more water corrosion resistant seems very promising. Now, from a ventilation and function standpoint, the 3 16th-inch gaps do allow airflow, which is important for, let's say, AC units. And I have seen that any heat buildup or usual smells coming from the garbage cans is non-existent. And then from a maintenance perspective, as expected, the white does occasionally show some dirt, but a quick hose down works just fine. In fact, I think it's been about a month and a half since I've had to hose this down. And usually when it rains, it just cleans it off anyways. Now for wind and sway, on one windy day, I did notice a slight vibration or a rattle in the panels where the ground was looser, but tightening the base definitely helped to make it a little bit more sturdy. Over time, it's a good idea to check the anchor and make sure the hardware is all intact so that you get the most durability out of this set of panels. Now, from a flexibility standpoint, because of the modular setup, I was able to shape around obstacles, which is always nice. And I love how it looks because it's just continuous. If I had a longer span, I might wish for more panels for a full wrap or even coverage to protect the walls and the side of my house as well. Now, with all that being said, overall, from a pros and cons perspective, I definitely love the clean, modern appearance because it hides unsightly objects effectively. It's also got good build quality for the price and is easy enough to install for a DIYer like myself. And then I also love the flexibility in shape, whether it's L shape, Z shape, F shape, or H shapes. It just gives more creativity placement options. And then this is good for moderate height applications around 4 to 5 feet and moderate width spans. Lastly, it does offer both aesthetic and utility. It hides units, but it still ventilates, so it is functional. Now, on the flip side, the height, of course, may not suit all application. Let's say, for example, if you need something that is 6 to 8 feet in height, in this case, you might need a different size. Also, the white finish does show dirts and stains a little bit more easily, but as you can see, that hasn't been an issue. Third, anchoring or uneven terrain does require extra effort when you're installing and setting this up. And then for larger spans, you may also need to stack multiple kits or buy additional panels, which may increase cost and complexity, but it should still be easy to install and configure. And then finally, the staking footplate method works, but it's not full concrete footing. This means for extremely windy areas, you may want to reinforce it further or screw the base in. And then finally, the staking footplate method does work, but it's not full concrete footing. This means for extremely windy areas, you may want to reinforce it further or even screw the base in. So with all those considerations, in the end, who are these panels great for? Well, if you're a homeowner like me who has a yard or a side yard where equipment such as an AC unit, trash bins, or even a pool pump are hidden, or you have equipment that just needs hiding, or you want a clean solution without building a full fence, this is great for you. If you're also a DIYer who's comfortable with basic tools such as a drill, a level, stakes, or anchors, and you want to install something fairly quickly, this is also great for you. Or if you're a user with light to moderate height or privacy needs, which is around 4 to 5 feet in height, then this is also great for you. And then lastly, if you're someone with an aesthetic preference for clean white finishes, or you're someone who wants to match white trim or outdoor decor, you might want to consider these. Now, on the flip side, you might want to consider something else or other options if you need much taller screening, around 6 to 8 feet for full privacy from neighbors. Or you might look for higher panels. Or if you are someone who prefers darker colors or wood tone or full wood material for a natural look, you may also want to compare with other materials as well. And then finally, if your budget is tight and you just need a quick low-cost mesh screen that's less durable, you may also consider simpler options. But you'll definitely sacrifice from a quality perspective that Kozyard offers. Now, in closing, this Kozyard 50-inch by 48-inch outdoor privacy screen delivered what I needed from my setup. It met my expectations for hiding my trash cans, improving the yard visually, and also staying durable with minimal fuss. I found the appearance pleasing, the flexibility of configuration helpful, and the build solid enough for everyday outdoor use. Now, if I were to buy again, or even recommend to someone a good solution for hiding their outdoor junk, their AC unit, or even their trash cans like I did, I would definitely recommend these panels. Now, a bit of advice. When ordering, make sure to measure carefully, consider your height needs, and figure how many panels you actually do need. Also, make sure you pick a color that matches your outdoor decor and be okay with occasional cleaning, especially if you pick a white one. For all of my channel viewers, if you're in a similar situation and you want to hide an AC unit, trash bins, or even pool equipment, or if you have a side yard or a patio view that you want to clean up, this is definitely a strong option in the nice outdoor screen category without going full fence. If you need super high or full perimeter screening, you might want to step up to a higher panel system. Anyways, if you found this review helpful, please smash that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you don't miss future DIY product reviews. If you want one of these screens for yourself, I'll leave a link to it in the description section below where you can go look, customize, and purchase it for yourself. Please also drop a comment below and let me know if you have a similar outdoor hideaway need, what width, height you're working with, and I'll try to help you think through the fit and the design, and maybe even what you should buy. And on top of that, if you do end up picking this screen, or if you already have it, I'd love to hear about your experience. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll review other outdoor improvement products. Stay curious, keep building better spaces, and until next time, see ya.